I decided in my research paper to look into cargo theft gangs. The reason I chose this topic was because it became very interesting to me as we started reading through the book what all of the details were associated with these gangs, because in my personal life I hadn't ever encountered any news about these gangs in particular. So in this class I've learned a lot about them, but I wanted to know a little bit more, considering that it would be applicable to the job that I have after college. So how I decided to go about researching this topic was first to look at who cargo gangs were, how they were formed or created, then how they operate, kind of the strategies that they use. From there, the impact that they have on different stakeholders. Next, looking at how they're punished or caught. And then lastly, looking at how we can prevent their actions altogether. So starting off with how they're formed, they vary a lot in their structure depending on the type of product that they are after. So as a trend that you'll see in a lot of my analysis, these gangs, they vary in their strategies based on the type of products that they're targeting. So they can either pursue a hierarchical structure, a clan structure, a cell structure, but ultimately it's all a money thing. So they're all in pursuit of that as their main goal. So next, the strategy that they use to intercept the goods also has to do with the product that they're targeting. So there are different industry norms that are associated with different product lines. So the approach that a cargo gang would use to intercept pharmaceuticals would be different than that they would use to intercept technology. So one way that's very common of cargo gangs in general is through targeting stopped trucks. So whenever trucks pull off to a truck stop and the driver exits the cab and is away so that the trailer is abandoned, or unattended, then that's when they unhitch the trailer from the existing cab, or they just commandeer the cab altogether and will drive off with it. They do this because this is really easy to do and everything is prepackaged for them. They also will pursue shipyards where cargo is being unloaded. They will act as though they're supposed to be taking it to its next location, or they will, in extreme instances, raid warehouses. And sometimes they can be very violent, using firearms or doing kidnappings, but these are more typical of outside of the US. They're not as common in the US because they're trying to get rid of any government attention so that the penalties aren't very high. So some of the stakeholders that are affected by this are obviously whoever's manufacturing, whoever product is being transported. And so they suffer because they obviously suffer the cost of the lost goods, but also the insurance associated with the lost goods, as well as any time spent towards handling this issue, any insurance hikes. All of those things are associated with the manufacturer or distributor. Then the driver itself, they can also be in harm by these cargo gangs. And then the customer, the costs get put onto them in prices. So the issue is that whenever these gangs are found out, we can't always be sure that every member of the gang has been taken to jail, and also they aren't in jail for very long and the fines aren't very large considering the damage that they do. Some of the possible solutions include leveraging ELD hardware to increase the security measures for tracking. Cameras also are part of this. Lighting is actually a very large deterrent of cargo criminals, so parking your truck in a well-lit area, as well as having a well-lit facility. Also, staged trucks need to be well protected. Background checks on your drivers, as well as around-the-clock security on your facilities. Some lower cost options would include better routing, better training for your employees, more knowledge across the supply chain, and lobbying. Thank you.